Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be my top 10 fragrances for life video. This is like a tag video that is going around on the internet, and people keep doing like updated versions of these every single year pretty much, because even though I'm saying that okay, this is my top 10 fragrances for life, I know that realistically my top 10 fragrances for life is not going to be the same. It's just like fragrances I think right now are going to be my top 10 fragrances for the rest of my life. Or rather, I would say, if I had to pick 10 fragrances out of my current collection right now and tell you that okay, if I had to use just 10 fragrances for the rest of my life, I would be using only these 10 fragrances. But I know myself and I know how much I love fragrances. I keep trying and testing out different fragrances every single week, every single month. So eventually, over time, the list does end up changing. I hope it makes sense. I really hope it makes sense. But if you had to ask me in 2022, before the year ends, that okay, you have tried as many perfumes as you have tried till date, and if you had to pick just 10 fragrances out of that you would want to use for the rest of your life, what would those 10 fragrances be? Keep in mind, I'm gonna consider every season, I'm gonna consider every occasion, and that's what I'm gonna like base these recommendations off of. So yeah, if that makes any sense, I'm gonna pick those 10 fragrances right away, right now. And I haven't really thought about it. Like, some fragrances I know for sure are going to be on the list, but apart from that, I wanted it to be more of an impromptu selection. I didn't want to like curate a list and then just show them to you. So yeah, I have everything right here in front of me, and I'm gonna pick and choose and tell you what I would pick and choose essentially. So let's dive right into it. And the first fragrance should not come as a surprise to you. This is one that it's very special to me, but I also know that it's going to like suit different occasions for me. So keeping that in mind, I'm telling you that my first pick is going to be none other than Narciso Poudre. Not Poudre, sorry, Ambree. It's not Poudre. I don't really like Poudre actually. So this is my 23rd birthday gift to myself. So again, it's one that how could I not have in my collection at any point of time in my life? Of course, I have to have this particular scent in my collection. But apart from that, talking about occasions and why I would pick it, it's this beautiful ambery floral deliciousness, sweetness, sophisticated, intoxicating fragrance that I could wear to family get-togethers. I could wear it if I'm out with my friends. I could wear it on date night. I could wear this on a lot of different occasions. I could even wear this every single day, even though it would be super expensive, because if I made this my signature scent, I would fly through this thing and I would have to buy like 3 bottles every year. So that's the only reason I cannot make this my signature scent, because trust me, if I had the option, I would do that. I would definitely do that. If I had that kind of money, I would definitely do that, because that's how absolutely amazing and intoxicating this fragrance is. And I would highly suggest, if you get a chance, to spray this and to try and test it out, because this is something that I feel like everyone will love. If you're a sweet lover, if you're a floral lover, if you're an amber lover, you would love this scent for sure. So that is Narciso Ambree, not Poudre. So that's my first pick. Moving on to my second pick, this is another nostalgic, very meaningful one, but again, keeping in mind occasion specific, I think that this would be something that I would require, and that is Good Girl by Herrera, and this is the OG. Now this is another obvious choice that I know I would have to have, obviously, if I was picking my 10 fragrances for life. Keeping in mind again that this is a very special nostalgic perfume for me, because I bought this on my 22nd birthday, so the birthday prior to the recent one. On my recent birthday, I bought this one, and then the one prior to that, I bought this one. So this is a beautiful bottle, but more than that, it's a beautiful scent. This is another like more deep, dark, intoxicating fragrance, I would say. This is something that you would want to wear to a night out, if you're going clubbing, if you're going out with friends, any of that stuff. And again, if you are going like out on dinner for date night, then I would also see this as being my date night scent. If my partner liked it per se, then I would wear this for date night. But even otherwise, if I was going anywhere out, maybe even with a group of friends, if I was going out for dinner, this is something that I would see myself wearing at night. I would see this as, you know, a clubbing scent per se, because if I had to pick like if I had only like a capsule collection of 10 fragrances that I was wearing, and I needed to have like, you know, a sexy nighttime scent on that, I don't necessarily want to pick a separate one. I know that this one is going to work really well for me, so why like block that spot essentially for another fragrance? So keeping that in mind, this would definitely be my scent of choice. And I don't want to like go too in depth with describing any of these fragrances, because I feel like if you have been around, you would already know a lot of these things about these fragrances, and I keep talking about those a ton as well, so I'm not going to go too much in detail with that, but that's definitely a pick I would consider for sure. So yes, that's that. Moving on next to my third fragrance. Now my third fragrance would be something that I want one scent that I could wear every single day, to office, to just going out in general. If I had to have a signature scent that would be appropriate in every single season, every single occasion, I feel like out of my entire collection, if there is one perfume that could really do that, is be my signature scent, it would be this one. And it is Plum Body Lovin's Hawaiian Rumba EDP. So this is what it looks like, and you can see that I've used it a decent amount. I also have a travel size of this one. I have used up an entire body mist of this one as well, and this is a perfume that I feel like I have actually worn this in every single season, every single situation, and it's always worked. So for that reason, I would say that if I had to not think, okay, I want a separate summer fragrance, I want a separate monsoon fragrance, and I want a separate winter fragrance, no, just one fragrance that would easily work for me in every single season, it would have to be this one. So for that reason, I'm going to be picking this. It's a beautiful tropical, like sweet smelling fragrance, but at the same time, like I said, it works in every season, every occasion. So for that reason, I would definitely pick that one for sure. Now moving on next, I do want to have some, again, specific fragrances. So now let's move on to like our like seasonal category, because realistically, knowing myself, I couldn't just wear one fragrance every single day for the entire year, and for years to come per se as well. So if I had to have like one option per se for every season, apart from like having one signature scent, then I would have this, I would have this, and also this, to be honest. Is that it? And then this also I would have to pick. Can't do without it. Yeah, so we have 3, and then I picked 4 more, so we're down to 7. I'm going to show you what my picks are, by the way, the next 4 that I picked. So if I had to go season wise and specific occasion wise, then this is something that I would definitely pick for like the summer and the monsoons as well, and that is Masaba by Nykaa, and it's the Croc and Roll fragrance. Again, I've spoken about this a bunch, and this is one of those fragrances that is very different from all the other perfumes that I have in my collection, because it's not your typical like sweet, you know, comforting, intoxicating, that kind of fragrance. This is more sort of like green, fresh, musky, but it's still like such a unique scent. It's very different from anything that I already own in my collection, and that's what makes it stand out for occasions when I don't want a super sweet fragrance. Like sometimes when you're always wearing that every single day, you kind of get bored of it, and then you feel like, okay, I don't want any more of this, I just want to smell simple, clean, fresh, and I don't want to have to think about my scent. This is what I would grab on those occasions. So in the summers and the monsoons, when I don't want something like Hawaiian Rumba, like if I want a little bit of sweet, which I love even in the summers and the monsoon, I would go for this. But then if I wanted to eliminate that, then I would go for this for sure. Then, since we're speaking about Plum any which ways, I also have to mention this particular scent by Plum. It's called Everythin Plum, again from the Plum Body Lovin' range, and this one is a beautiful, sexy, ambree, juicy, sultry. It's delicious. It's slightly powdery. It's beautiful. Again, it's got a lot of notes on here. It's got plum, blackberry, cherry, orange, jasmine, iris, violet, amber, patchouli, vanilla and musk. I don't get a lot of cherry or a lot of orange per se, but I definitely get the iris and violet. Jasmine also I don't really get much, if I'm going to be honest. I definitely get the amber, patchouli and the musk. Not even vanilla as much. I mean, I'm sure there is vanilla to ground the scent, but that's not the first thing that I smell per se. But this is, again, like I mentioned, a beautiful scent. And this is one that because I haven't worn this a ton in every single season, I will not be able to tell you when this would work for me and when it wouldn't. But there would just be times when I would want to switch it up a little bit and experiment and wear a scent that I personally really love, and those are the occasions when I would see myself wearing this particular scent. So we have that. And then let's talk about winters, because again, that's the time we are in right now. And I have another Plum Body Lovin' pick for this. So if I had to choose just one super sweet, gourmand scent that I would spray on my clothes, that I would wear a ton in the winters, that would be super duper sweet, like sugary sweet, this is the one that I would pick, and that is Vanilla Vibes by Plum Body Lovin'. Again, if you can see how much I have used out of this, you can tell how much I've been loving it, and I will be getting a full-size bottle of this particular one very soon, probably before this winter ends, or maybe considering the current size of my collection, I should maybe wait till next year to get a full size of this. So I'm not too sure, but I can tell you that I'm going to fly through this basically this year, and it's an amazing, beautiful. If you just want plain simple warm vanilla sugar, go for this. Like, it is that simple that if you want a super simple, just warm vanilla sugary scent, then go for this. Moving on, next, I had to have one more winter pick because I know I would just not be able to do with those. I would want a little bit more variety, and this is a fragrance that I just cannot avoid. I just, again, have to have this in my collection. It is Nykaa Love Notes, the EDP, and I had the option to choose between either this one or go with the Skin by Titan Celeste one, which was again a newer favorite. But if I had to really choose between these two, the reason I would choose this is because of the marshmallowiness that is in here. I don't know if it's actually marshmallow or it just feels like marshmallow to me, but there is something in here that again stands out as compared to the rest of my collection. Whereas this one, it is very great and very nice, but I just like this one a little bit more, like if I had to pick and choose between these two in terms of longevity, in terms of the feeling and just the overall scent profile, I do tend to prefer Nykaa Love Notes over Titan Celeste, so, or rather Skin by Titan Celeste. So yeah, for that reason I would pick Nykaa Love Notes. I always describe this as like a white t-shirt, light blue jeans. Like, I just picture that outfit like a super chic girl who's wearing a simple white t-shirt with blue jeans, probably some boots on. She has like a high waist ponytail. She's not wearing a ton of makeup. She's wearing super big hoops that I love, that, and super simple makeup, maybe just a lipstick, but she's super chic. She has like her tote, and she's like a boss woman, but she doesn't look like your ideal boss woman. Like, you would imagine a boss woman to have a blazer on and like super formal clothing, but this girl is a boss woman, but she doesn't dress like one. She just has an aura that she doesn't need to like dress super formal or anything, but she is a super confident, sexy boss woman without looking like one. She's like casual and chic at the same time. So that's the kind of girl I imagine who would wear this, and I feel like I just want to recreate that vision for myself. Like, I want to dress like that, wear this fragrance and rock the world, you know. So that's why I love this fragrance so much, and I just cannot imagine not having it. I just need to get myself to wear this a little bit more often. So we have that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fragrances that I've picked right now. We can definitely pick 3 more fragrances, and I have 2 per se that are on my mind. Actually, I have 3, so I think I know what I'm going to pick apart from that. So my 8th fragrance pick for this video is going to be Hugo Boss The Scent, and this is one that for some reason, I don't know why, I forgot to mention this in my perfume collection video when I did it, but of course this is a part of my collection, and this is a super juicy, fruity, really sexy, mouth-watering, delicious fragrance. And this is one that I would absolutely have to have in my collection, and I know for a fact that I will have this in my collection for years to come, because this is a super special fragrance to me for a lot of reasons, and one of them being that this is something that I would definitely wear for myself just on date night specifically. So I mean, of course I have to have this. This is going to be like my first choice for something like that. I did say that I would wear Narciso or I would wear Herrera Good Girl on date night as well, but this is something that is just meaningful and nostalgic. So keeping that in mind, there is no way that I could not put this one on the list. I knew I didn't want to put it right in the beginning, but I knew that towards the end I would eventually end up grabbing for this and putting this on the list. So that is Hugo Boss The Scent. The only thing that I would say is that that is one that you will have to overspray a little bit if you want it to last throughout the day. Like if you're going on a date which is like from morning to maybe like afternoon, evening, definitely make sure you overspray of that one, or either have it with you on the bag and touch up on the go, because if you like spray normally and you don't overspray, it might not last as long and it might fade in the middle, which you would not want. So I think overspraying with that one is a good route to go. So we have that. Moving on, next there is one fragrance that I had to again mention on the list for sure. I just don't have a full bottle of it yet. I made a couple of decants and I used up my full bottle, so I do have the scent still in my collection. I just don't have the actual bottle to show you, but it is the OG Viva La Juicy Couture fragrance. Now this is one that again I love so much, so I will have some version of it in my collection. I will either have Pink Flambe by Zara, which is like supposed to be a dupe of it, or I would just repurchase the original OG one. And even though I hate to say that the longevity on this one is not at all good, like this one is still decent and you can make it work by overspraying. Viva La Juicy Couture, doesn't matter how much you overspray, you need to have, I mean, I'm pretty sure you won't have the full size bottle with you because it's a giant bottle, so maybe you'll always have to have a decant of this with you whenever you're traveling, if you want to reapply or spray or whatever. But that is a beautiful fragrance as well, which I really love per se, and it's one of those fragrances that I would spray on no matter what. Like if I am chilling at home doing nothing, I'm just lazing around and maybe watching a movie, watching a web series or YouTube or whatever, I'm just chilling on my own by myself and I want to feel good, I want to feel sexy, pretty, important, it's just a great feel good fragrance for me personally. I would just spray that on. I don't care if someone else likes it or not in my life. I like that fragrance, and it's one of those fragrances I will have on hand just for me. So again, that's one that I see having in my collection for years and years to come, because initially I loved the scent, then I discovered it's not worth the money because it's so expensive. But then I was like, you know what, if you find a scent that is not long lasting but you actually like the specific fragrance and you just want to have it on hand for yourself, then don't stop yourself, just buy that perfume. It's fine, it's expensive, but if it makes you feel good about yourself, then it's worth it. You know, at least to me personally, that's how I think of it. It is worth it because it makes me feel good about myself. So that is Viva the Juicy Couture. And last but not the least, if I had to pick one more fragrance out of the rest of my collection that I would want to have for the rest of my life in my perfume collection, it would be Hypnotic Poison by Dior. And this is the EDT. They have an EDP and they have an EDT. Both of them, I believe, smell different. I don't know what the EDP smells like, but this is the EDT. And this is a beautiful almondy, very delicious, intoxicating, sexy. I know I've been using a lot of the same words for this, like all of these fragrances, and this is something that literally actually is making me salivate. That is how beautiful this particular scent is. And this is just one that gives me bougie, expensive, glamorous diva vibes. Like if I was wearing a lehenga or like an elaborate traditional outfit and I just wanted to stand out of the crowd, look regal, look glamorous, look absolutely amazing, like a princess that has just walked out of the doors of heaven, I would spray this on for sure. So this is like a very specific, like special occasion kind of scent. Like if I was a wedding guest, if I was attending like a family wedding or like a close friend's wedding, something of that sort, that's when I would wear this. And I have done that in the past and I will continue doing that. This is gonna be like my wedding, not my wedding scent, but my wedding guest scent, you know. Whenever I'm a guest in any wedding, this is the scent I'm going to be wearing. So yeah, I ended up choosing that. Also, when I was talking about this and I mentioned the almond, I remembered that how could I not mention Elisab Girl of Now in this video, because that is another scent that I have said for years is eventually going to become my signature. Hopefully at some point of time in my life, a couple of years from now, when I am going to be like getting ready to get married or something like that, that would be my signature scent. But since we are not at that point of time in my life, I feel okay with not mentioning that. And I know that probably eventually some of the perfumes that are here right now with me are not going to be a part of this list. So once I end up replacing these perfumes and like once I phase them out, I'll probably replace them with that eventually at some point of time in my life. But as of 2022 December, if you asked me that I just had to pick 10 fragrances for life, which are those 10 fragrances that I would pick, then I would end up picking these 10. So yeah, that is it for the video. And I just randomly came up with this like challenge idea in my mind, that what if I did not use any of the other fragrances that I already have in my collection, and if I just had to use these 10 fragrances for an entire year, would I be able to actually do that? So I don't know, let me know if you find this idea interesting and fun. Should I do that? Should I not use any of my other fragrances, which will honestly kind of break my heart to do that, because I do want to use some of the other fragrances that I have in my collection and give them more love. But if I had to do this challenge video, would you like to see it? I don't know if it would be fun or not, if I'd be able to do it or not. But in case you're interested in me doing something like that, definitely make sure to let me know down below in the comment section, and then I'd maybe consider it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. And like I always say in every single one of my Vlogmas videos, that Vlogmas is going on, which means that you're going to be seeing a new video every single day from me, or rather I should say on my channel at 5 p.m. every single day. So definitely make sure that you come back for more, because there's going to be a ton of makeup, skincare, beauty and perfume related content that I will be posting in this month from I've been doing this since December 1st, and I will continue doing that till the 31st. So in case you're interested, definitely make sure to come back. And for that, what you have to do is subscribe to my channel and hit on the notification bell button that you see next to the subscribe button, because when you do that, it'll basically notify you every single day, so you won't have to actually remember, because YouTube will just remind you by sending you a notification when my video goes live. So yeah, make sure you do that in case you would be interested. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, bye bye.